So today we're going to be talking about calla lilies. Calla lilies are definitely a favorite of a lot of people. They are just beautiful. They're simple in their shape, but they're also very interesting. They come in a lot of different colors. As a frequent flower subscriber, you're probably receiving an assortment of colors. We're trying to give everybody a little bit of taste of all the colors they come in. Often we see them in wedding work in whites, but they come in deep purples, multi-shades of yellows and oranges and pinks, and they're just fabulous. They were loved in Greek mythology. So the name calla lily, calla actually means beautiful in Greek. And if you're into Greek mythology, there are all sorts of stories on how they originated. And anyways, there's a lot to get into there. So do your research on Greek mythology and calla lilies if you'd like to. They were actually named by a Swedish botanist, and he named them a calla lily, and then we later found out they're not actually in the lily family. But at that point, the name had stuck and too many people had adopted it that it never got changed. So calla lilies are not actually in the lily family. Something about calla lilies is they do hold moisture really well. So you can feel that their stems feel very rigid when they have a good drink. If they have not had a drink, they're going to feel a little bit softer. Sometimes, depending on what we're doing with them here in the shop, we actually want them to kind of be sitting out at room temperature rather than the cooler so that we can work with them and manipulate them a little bit easier to do exactly what we want. They often have a mind of their own, of whether they want to turn this way or turn that way, or if we're doing a cascade bouquet, we want their sort of the waterfall effect. We want the tips of them going one direction, but sometimes they want to sit the other direction. So we're going to show you how to manipulate them today. You're also getting a little bit of lily grass. That is just going to be another fun added flair that we're going to add to the arrangement today. Something to keep in mind with calla lilies is that their heads can bruise easily. So if you're working with white calla lilies especially, you want to make sure that you're not handling the head too much with your hands. That's going to cause them to bruise. Often with the colors, the really saturated colors like we're working with today, you're not going to see that as easily. But usually when we're handling them from the stem anyways. So I have got sort of a wide cube that I'm working with today, and I've got my water in there. I've added my flower food in there already. And what we're going to do is we're going to spiral some of our calla lilies into the arrangement and then have some coming out. Just sort of a modern flair. So as I mentioned, calla lilies are pretty easy to manipulate. Let me decide what colors we're going to go where. I think we're going to do a few yellow in, since they're a little smaller head. I'm going to manipulate these in, and then these guys I'm going to work kind of coming out of the arrangement. So let's start with our yellow. So if you want to bend a calla lily in a different direction than it's going, so I see that it's already curving this way, I'm gonna work with that. But I want to be able to kind of curve my stem to go in here. Sometimes, like I said, if they've had a fresh drink, they're in the cooler, they may be a little more stiff. What we can do is just by running our hand down the stem, we're sort of breaking up those stiff fibers inside the calla lily stem. We're softening it and being able to just gently curve it in the direction we want it to go. You want to be gentle. You could easily snap their heads, but already you can see we've really started to get the curve the way we want it to. I'm going to give them a fresh cut. And this is something, their stems are so soft. They are very full of, very hydrated, very full of water. Their stems are soft. You want to make sure you've got a sharp knife or sharp shears. Apparently mine are not that sharp. So I'm going to make sure my stem is getting a drink of water by putting it in there, but then I'm going to wrap my calla lily just kind of down in my vase there. And I'm going to continue to work them the direction I want them to go and place them. You can see we've kind of created a spiral with them. I'm going to take a few pieces of lily grass again, so the lily grass can kind of bend. If we want it to bend in one direction, we're just going to work it with our hand. And I'm actually just going to take some of my lily grass kind of weave it in there too, just to add more texture down into the vase. And there's no right or wrong way to do this. We're just sort of being creative. Okay. So my other calla lilies, I'm going to actually arrange them together. This one's got a little bit shorter of a stem. But I want them all, see how this one wants to turn? I want him to go this way. So we're definitely going to work his stem. Okay, so I'm going to arrange these just in my hand. Just overlapping them, kind of mixing up the colors. Then now that I have them, I'm going to add a little bit of lily grass. I think some I'm actually going to, we're going to put all of it underneath there. Some I'm going to let hang loose, and some I'm going to pull back and create little loops. And you don't have to use all the lily grass if you don't want to. You know, I think I'm going to make them all loops. I just like it looking a little more intentional. You can see how we've kind of created a waterfall and we have our flowers looped there. I'm going to take my tape and get all my stems. If you had wire, like a florist wire or a bind wire would work really well too. And then I'm going to cut all my stems. So we have all of our stems taped and trimmed. I'm going to go in the opposite corner that I sort of staggered these and let these sort of trail off to the side, and just kind of creating sort of a simple and modern arrangement. And you can, you can move these around if you want them grouped a little differently. If you don't have a low cube, maybe you've just got a short little vase, you could always do what we did here by just simply gathering and taping them and then place them in your vase and kind of let them trail, have them more upright, however you see fit. I really like him in my cube though. I think he's gonna look really pretty on my table at home like that. So there you go, there are your calla lilies. Now calla lilies can have a long vase life, usually 7 to 10 days, just depending on how you care for them. So make sure you're changing out your water and keep them somewhere kind of in a cooler spot. You don't want to put them in a direct light in the window. But I hope you guys enjoy your flowers this month and join us next time. Thank you so much.